Hey, what's up, everybody? And happy motherfucking, well, it's going to be Thursday for y'all when this comes out. Thank you for coming back. I appreciate you and I love you. Thank you for joining me for another week of Speak Her Truth. This has been a little bit of a rocky week. And since I had trouble kind of getting this video out last week, I was feeling a little bit apprehensive about how to move forward with this video. You know, what I should talk about. Was I going to kind of stumble into the same types of issues? And I just decided I was going to come out here and just speak my truth, because honestly this week has been, there's been a lot of like really beautiful blessings that's happened as far as with the stuff that I do here on social media. I've put out some really cool videos and gained some cool traction and have gotten so much good feedback, and just the love has just been real, for real, for real. And then in my personal life, things have been just a little bit just rockier. Nothing terrible happening. Just feeling, you know what's crazy I've been feeling this week is some anger. As I film this, technically today is Wednesday. You guys are watching this on Thursday or whenever you find it. And I noticed the beginning of the week on Monday when I was working out, I was just feeling kind of like just kind of under the weather, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, just feeling kind of sad. Even feeling, actually, I was on the treadmill, right? And I'm walking and I start vibing to some song. I forgot what the song was. It was something super hype. I forgot what it was. It was super hype though. And I caught myself like, oh yeah, fuck that bitch. Like, kind of like in this zone of like I want to beat somebody up. Okay, not really, but you know, kind of just in this like super kind of aggressive mood. And I caught myself, how funny, energy, letting it go is exactly what I was, you know, I didn't feel angry prior to getting on the treadmill. I actually felt kind of sad and kind of melancholy. But getting on the treadmill, I think, helped kind of bring that stuff, bubble that stuff up to the surface. And I was like, oh. And it's funny because I think sometimes it takes a lot to get my attention with my emotions before I realize like, oh, I don't feel good. I think that I've been through so many long periods of my life that where I've had to maintain a certain amount of composure in order to survive, literally. And so now when I don't feel good and my emotions are off, it has to be kind of forced out of me, or not forced, but I'm trying to get to a point where I don't have to have like crazy wild emotions to notice I'm emotional, right? I think that when it takes a lot for you to notice that your emotions are bubbling up, if it takes a lot, then that kind of shows, I think, that we're still kind of in trauma mode. We're still kind of in survival mode. So it was a good thing, you know. I didn't notice it prior to getting on the treadmill, but getting on the treadmill helped initiate my awareness about not feeling well. So I'm on the treadmill, feeling angry, I'm hyped. I'm like, yeah. And I was super getting into it, and I was like, damn, girl, why you so pumped? I didn't really have to think about it too much, like why don't I feel good? But because before I knew it, a different song changed. How funny, this discovery. The song changed, and it was like more of a love, sad song. That was just enough to push me back over the edge. You know what I mean? To be like, it was like my emotions were like, excuse me, miss? Excuse me? Can I come in? Can I speak to you for a moment? It was like just enough of that like nudge that I needed to realize like, oh, it's not really anger. It's actually, I'm sad. So even though I think this episode is going to be about anger and how it disguises itself, coming back around to the theme of why I even do these videos is honestly, it's about self-love. And what did I do in that moment to show myself that I love myself? I'm catching it's kind of hard to see myself in the viewfinder because there's a glare on it. And I just for a second I caught the wrinkle that can happen when the sun is on my face, and just remind myself, here's a moment to tell myself, Alexandra, stop already, because I feel myself being like trying to flatten it out and smooth it out. Alexandra, you can smooth it out, but just remember too, you're still beautiful even if it's not smooth, right? So what did I do for myself on that treadmill when I noticed that, oh, it's not actually anger, it's sadness? I just took a few seconds. I'll say few seconds. It was probably like 3 minutes, 2 minutes maybe. And I just let myself dive into the sadness. Just dive in it and just swim in it and just let it wash over me. And when we can surrender to the emotion, it tells your body, I love you, I want you here. It tells our spirit that they're welcome here. I think we're all born psychic. I think we're all born very intuitive. I think we probably are all born able to see angels and able to see colors and sparkles. And I think what happens is we're conditioned over time, and pretty soon we end up forgetting that we were even able to see those things. So the practice, or the coming back to who we once were, the opening up to the psychic realm, is not a learning process, but an unlearning process. So by me being open and available to my higher self, my spirit self, trying to come through to help me to release pain or toxins, is a signal to spirit, to God, to my higher self, to me as a human, Alexandra, with all my flaws. It's a signal to myself, telling myself, I'm here and I'm available for you and I love you. So I just let it wash over me, girl, boy, homie, friend. I just let it wash over me, and it felt really sad. The place I went felt really, really sad. But it was like, literally, it's like a wave. It's like you're in the ocean and I see a wave coming. I feel the wave coming. What are we going to do with the wave? We're going to dive under the wave. So I swam under the wave. Those are the tears. That's the crying. That's the sobbing. And as I'm coming out, it's like it starts clearing and lifting. So we take a minute, we pay homage to it, we thank it, we respect it, we appreciate it, and then we enjoy it going away, subsiding. And then I was fine. And I went into the workout with stamina and strength, and I felt really good, and everything felt really good during the day. I think growing up, I had the probably normal amount of adults telling me don't cry. I think everybody's told don't cry. I think that's just, it's hard for us to deal with our own emotions, let alone somebody else's emotions. So as parents, when we are raising our kids, and look, as evolved as I think I am, as forward thinking as I think I am, I'm still, I still tell my kids don't cry. And then I'll catch myself and I'll be like, okay. I still find myself out of habit doing that, trying to have my kids reduce or minimize or just not cry at all when they do something, when they're crying out of something that I deem not worthy of crying. You know, I'm up on here being vulnerable with y'all and just keeping it real with you. So growing up, I think I had the normal amount of, don't cry, kind of, I think everybody gets that. And I went through a period after my mom died that I just didn't cry. I think I was just, I don't know, I guess shock, or I was detached from it for a long time, that people started telling me like, girl, what's wrong with you? You never cry. And so I then turned that lesson of don't cry into like, it became like, I don't know, like it was something I was kind of ashamed of. Like, oh, does that make me a bad person? Like, because I don't cry. I was very detached for a really long time about my mom's death. It took a lot of pushing for people to start seeing me crying. I had a lot of people on my back about me not crying. Anyway, weird, but that combined with a incredibly traumatic relationship when I was 18, 19, 20 with my older daughter's dad, where it was like, it was tumultuous, boy, it was bad. And so whenever I cried, I was very much made to feel, it's funny, discovery again, I was very much made to feel stupid for crying. Not even just like, well, what happened is when I got into that relationship, it was like something, the floodgates opened up. It was such a tumultuous and it was such a threatening environment, a restricted environment. I had to cry a lot. There was a lot of tears. I was always crying. I was always crying. I was always scared. I was always crying. And so I got the message like, shut the fuck up, you know, don't fucking cry. You're fucking stupid when you cry. You know, those types of messages. So I really took that message, that shut the fuck up, don't fucking cry. You're fucking stupid when you cry. I really took that message and I ran with it for years and years. And I think that the relationships that I went into after that relationship were similar in a lot of ways. I got a very similar message about crying from men. I might need to bake the other side of my face, y'all. So really, what we're doing here as adults, grown as people, is unlearning the bullshit, right? Unlearning the stuff that jacked us up, taught us lessons that did not serve our highest potential, right? So it's battle by battle, emotion by emotion. The ability to stop, be able to recognize it, and then what do we do with it? I talk about this a lot on here about when I don't feel good, kind of the steps that I go through in order to take care of myself. And, you know, I got lucky that emotion came up while I was on the treadmill. I got lucky because I was alone in the garage. Sometimes the emotion will come up when I'm around my kids. You know, and when that happens, I have to make a choice about when am I gonna let it out right now? And 99.9% of the time, I have to tuck it away. That's how I feel. I guess I don't have to, but I just don't. I mean, even I'm listening to my own dialogue, and it's interesting. Not necessarily the truth that I can't cry in front of my kids. In fact, I think a healthy dose of tears in front of your kids teaches your kids that tears are okay and that it's okay to cry sometimes. But where I'm at right now, I'm just telling you guys my process is I like to wait for nighttime. I got lucky by being on the treadmill, so I was out there by myself, so I just let it go. So whenever these things come up and you feel safe, you are in a place that's safe and protected, whether it be, I mean, you could even be around people that you feel really safe around, and you just let it go. And you just remember, you tell yourself that it's not gonna last forever. If anything, especially tears, they come in waves. They're gonna last maybe a couple minutes at the most, you know? And you release them, and you thank them, and you let them go. How you doing? Okay. Oh, you just make it.
I love you, but your breath is just like something else, sis.
I don't know how long I'm gonna feel like this. These emotions, they make me quite nervous, actually. To feel sad like this, it makes me nervous. And I've talked about this before because I worry about getting stuck in depression. But it's my thought process and my hope that with these little self-love types of things that I can do for myself on a daily basis, whether it be releasing my tears when it feels right, or it be, taking care of my space, or it be, how I'm eating and what I put in my body and how I make it and how I prepare it, and what that tells my higher self. Whatever it is that we do for ourselves that shows self-love, like genuine, deep self-love, intention, the honoring path. Yes, as long as the intention is in the right place. I feel like, along with, meditation, every night before bed, as I'm falling asleep, I guess that's not before bed, every night at bedtime when I'm falling asleep, for the past week or so, I've been doing a ton of visualization. So I'm going to sleep thinking of what I'm trying to manifest. So like last night, I was sad. I've been sad, right? So it's a lot of self-love mantras. I love myself. I trust myself. I commit to myself. I love you. I love you. I love you. And a lot of the sadness is coming from, man, I just gotta be real. I don't know how else to say this. I keep trying to say this without having to say it, but it's just not, it's the lack of love that I have from another person. Which is, when it comes out my mouth, it feels really stupid. But look, bear with me, because even though I'm learning, I got a lot of learning to go. I know it's not stupid. I know we're all human beings. So that is part of what we're here to do, is to be in relationships with other people. Yes, that fearful energy. Y'all, I'm fucking scared. I'm fucking scared. I am scared that I'm never going to find somebody that is my right partner. Like I'm terrified, actually. I am terrified of attracting or having people in my life that aren't reciprocating the love that I have to give. I'm terrified of just all these things. Not every day does it feel this heavy, but if there's my two biggest struggles are my body image, weight, and partnering. Victim mentality. Oh shit, victim mentality, right? So for the most part, I'm always like got pep in my step. I'm usually most of the time good, but once in a while, once a month, this shit will flare up, and I don't know. I'm gonna have to pay attention and see if this has anything to do with my cycle. But every month, there's always a few days out of the month that it feels a little bit more of. It feels more real. The fear of not finding somebody great to match my greatness. You know what I'm saying? And then I always have to go back. I always have to go back to what the psychic told me. I shared about this on my last episode of Speak HerTruth. The psychic told me, the episode was called How to Love Yourself. The psychic told me, Alex, do you love yourself the way? Do you feel about yourself? Do you love yourself in the same ways that he loves you, the same way he makes you feel? Do you feel that way about yourself? Him being that ideal love partner that I'm trying to draw into my life. And then it's like, oh shit, then shit gets really real. When you think of it like that, if I'm feeling sadness for myself, fearful of not attracting that partner, at the same time, we need to honor our path. Honoring your path. If I'm feeling fearful about this, that means I still got work to do, because that means that I'm out there thinking about him, whoever him may be, lack of him, right? So if I'm so far out there thinking about that, that means this ain't right, you know? And that's why it's like so important to always come back to, like, let me tell you, every deficiency we have in life, I honestly feel like it goes back to self-esteem. At least in my life, if you think about anything you feel deficient in, goes back to self-esteem. How do we love ourselves? What level of love is there for ourselves? You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's so important to repeat to yourself all the time, I love you. I love myself. I trust myself. I love myself. I trust in you, Spirit. That if I trust myself, that you will help the miracles come through. I love myself. I trust myself. I commit to myself. I honor myself. I am from God. I am a part of God. I am part of the whole. I am infinite. I am stardust. I am. I love myself. And so that's why these practices are pertinent, right? To do these things, because it may sound goofy, but your subconscious doesn't know the difference between the loving man. Fucking shit, can't make this shit up. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to bring in the love by loving myself first. Oh, girl, I love you so much, girl. Oh, girl, I love you. Trying to bring him in. It's not exactly how I picture him, but you know, same thing. Crazy, right? Can't make this shit up. Anyway, y'all, I'm gonna wrap this up. Just know your girl's human. I haven't been feeling so great this week. I hope you understand where I'm coming from. I hope you, by listening to me, you feel like you're not alone, right? We're not alone. We're not alone in this process. Have a great motherfucking week. Have a great motherfucking weekend. Whenever this video finds you, I love you. I respect you. I honor you. I hold space for you. I know you hold space for me. I know you love me. Let's do this, right? Let's conquer this one day at a time, each moment at a time. And what I'm about to do right now, what's something nice I could do for myself right now when I go inside? Prepare myself a bomb-ass salad, okay? Eat good, some avocado. I'm gonna even put some croutons in there, you know what I'm saying? Croutons and cheese and put some meat in there of some kind. All right, y'all. I love you. Thank you for joining me again for Speak Her Truth. I appreciate you.